It's Trump's day today. He gets sworn in. All the performances, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Carrie Underwood, Village People, whomever else. It's going to be inside, I heard, because of the weather in Washington, D.C. today. So everything will be inside. Everybody will be able to see it. It's on YouTube everywhere. And today is his day. He gets sworn in for the second time. But what are you all's expectations, aside from TikTok, or if he's going to save that or not, with the security risks and all of that? What are your expectations of Trump as far as the inflation? I think the Fed is only doing 2 cuts this year. That's down from 4, but I'm hearing people talking about eggs, $7 a carton. But what are your expectations for Trump's administration on that? Deportation, this is day one. Are you happy to see migrants go back to Venezuela? They're starting with Chicago. That's a sanctuary city. I don't know what city they're going to next, but, this is what he wants to do. Do you want to see the borders more secure now that Trump is back in power? What are you all expecting? Do you expect anything to change? Do you think he's going to be blocked by the courts on certain things, or will everything be smooth? I mean, the Republicans do have control of the Congress as well, the House and the Senate. So, he's definitely got support from that end. What do you expect him to do about job situations? He wants to bring things back to the United States and have it manufactured over here instead of things being outsourced. Do you think that's going to become a reality? Also, the issue with him giving increased taxes on the companies while they've got products coming from outside of the United States into the United States, and companies saying like they're going to have to push the costs on to me and you to make up for the increased taxes, or what they call tariffs. He's also talking about increasing taxes on Canada. Canada's threatening this whole cutting off power to the certain states they get power from Canada. So, that's another thing there. So, it's going to be, I think, a roller coaster starting today on to the end of his term, I think. I remember seeing someone on YouTube saying I think it's going to be slow for the first 2 years. In 2026, 26, we'll see it pick up. But I don't know. Well, that's now next year. That is going 2024 to 2028, the way the actual voting time goes in November. But some are saying they think 2026, which would mark the halfway point, even though that's next year. People are saying that that's when things will really pick up and you'll see Trump really trying to put things in motion. But someone said, and this was just on YouTube, some people going back and forth about it. I forget what channel. I think I was on Zaza Ali's channel. And she's a content creator as well. And someone had made that comment on one of her videos, and she pointed it out. But I'm with her where she was saying I think everything is just going to start day one. There's not going to be some type of slow build up to what Trump wants to pass, his policies, things like that. Him and Vice President J.D. Vance, who's also the first millennial vice president in history. He's born 1985, J.D. is. So he turns 40 this year like me. So my generation is actually in the vice presidential seat for the first time ever, someone born in those years. But anyway, back to Trump and what do you all expect him to do? What's realistic as far as the spending? I know he wants to have Elon Musk help him audit the United States government to see where things are going. You see the money being sent to Ukraine in their battle with Russia, and then money being spent on migrants, money being sent to Israel for the whole Palestine and Hamas, that situation, Israel versus Palestine / Hamas. But then people are saying, we got prices sky high here in the United States, eggs, like I said, homelessness, yet money is being sent out. United States current debt price is $36 trillion as I record this. So, the spending is definitely out of control. Student loans. I mean, you guys who didn't get your loans forgiven under Biden fell very way short of the target. They said over 5 million people had their loans forgiven, and that's just too general. It was less than 10 million, over 5 million, probably less than 7 million. I know that debt of the student loans was at 1 trillion at least before Biden started forgiving, and so I know it says billions have been forgiven up to this point, and that's over now. So student loan debt is probably in the high 100 billions right now. I would say probably between 800 and 900 billion still left. But I didn't think they was going to be able to get everybody's loans just wiped out because it's too much money to leave on the table. And I just told you, United States of America's, the government is $36 trillion in debt. So I didn't think that was going to be realistic. As far as Trump's expectations go, I don't think he's ever spoke on student loans. If you still got outstanding student loans, do you hope that Trump is going to forgive those for you so you don't have to make any more monthly payments? I know these student loans have kept people from, well, they say, getting a home or having kids. The loans just put all of that on hold. It freezes it. I know my barber said his loans were not forgiven. He was hoping Biden could pull that off. I think his are at $8,000. You know, that's not too bad, but he was hoping. But that wasn't the case. And so I don't know what everybody's expectations of Donald is at this point. I know you got a lot of other people who are upset that Kamala didn't get in. But he is trying to throw a bone to, the TikTok people. I think had Kamala won and, Joe Biden didn't step in with this whole TikTok ban, TikTok would be donezo right now. So the only reason it's online right now, I've already logged into it, you can upload, is because they feel that they may have a lifeline with Donald. We'll see how that goes. Again, if you're on there and you pay your bills using it, still have your people coming over to here on YouTube where I'm at and Instagram, just so you can continue to sell your products and how you're making your money and things like that. Get an email list so you never lose everyone, because some people have a hard time moving over to other platforms. You start on one, then say, hey, come over here. People don't necessarily, you won't get everybody to follow you. And I know one guy on TikTok, he says in Chicago, he says he's got 500,000 followers on TikTok. He doesn't believe all of them will come over to Instagram and YouTube like he's asked. But, again, that just goes to people get comfortable seeing you on one spot and they don't want to go over to the next one. But again, don't put your eggs all in one basket. With anything, making money through these platforms, YouTube, etc. Trump may help them out. We'll see. I don't know how high that is on his agenda. I think he has a lot of other things that he wants to get done, stuff that he thought he would have had done already, but he didn't do a second straight term, and now the second term has arrived. The economy definitely for the United States needs improvement, needs help. Inflation needs to go down. And so, what are we expecting of Donald? What are you expecting? I would like to see inflation go down and see prices of gas and food go down. Home insurance rates so people can actually get their first mortgage ever, especially people from my generation. If you're a millennial, born 1981 to 1997, and you still renting, but I want to get a house now, or maybe you want a multi-unit building, you want a 3-unit and have tenants, which is a mortgage you have to pay on that as well. And are you just looking at the mortgage rates right now and saying, yeah, it's not really too rich for my blood at this point? Are you hoping with Trump being in that those interest rates can come down so you can have some type of property ownership going on? I managed to, get this townhouse, which I have a mortgage for, before all of this inflation and all of that. So, I got in before things got too expensive. So, but so many other people, from, like I say, from my generation, born at 1981 to 1997, that window, are not homeowners, and would like to be, but just cannot afford it. I know people who have been renting forever, so that's the thing there. No, they don't have any rental properties. They are just paying a landlord. That's all they can afford to do at this point. And I'm talking people who I know who aren't even parents. So, this people pockets get hit so hard, especially more if you are a parent. And so things really, can get, tight. Your pension, pennies, or, counting where every dollar goes. And, you just be happy just to get everything paid for this month and get ready for the next month. And so, but I know no one wants to, live like that. And again, that may be one of your expectations for Trump in terms of, getting a little bit of your life back, having some room to breathe. But in order to do that, we need things to be less expensive. And you have to live below your means as well. Audit yourself. As we, I'm asking, what are your expectations for Donald, but also what are your expectations for you in terms of, we just talking with the finances. Everybody should do a self-audit and just see where your spending is going. Because some people have spending habits as bad as the United States government. And then that's why you're in debt like the United States government. So we also have to start there as well. And just don't look for Donald to bail you out of your own self-inflicted wounds because you like to spend too much and you don't know how to sit down. You don't know how to sit in the house, in your apartment, wherever, your loft, your townhouse, your condo. Or if you stay at home with your parents right now, you don't even know how to sit in there. And then you don't have any bills there, but then you don't even know how to save. So certain things that you need to just slow down on so you can save some money and then maybe put it into some type of investment. You never get the chance to do that. I'm still pushing XRP on people. XRP is at $3.19. I have 105 shares. I put in how much? $130 so far, and now it's at almost 400. So it's definitely doing its thing. That particular, they call it Ripple XRP. Get you some of that and sit on it. It's only $3.19 right now. I think that's going to go up. That's my expectation. And then just sit on it. Maybe by May, June this year, you might be at over $1,000. That's what I'm expecting. Once I check, my XRP and whatever platform you want to get it through. I'm on Coinbase with it. I like theirs. Easy to navigate, easy to buy and sell. When you sell it, comes back into your account, and then you can then use it as United States dollars, transfer it back to your bank account. But, sit on all of this stuff once you put an investment in. Continue to save, and don't just sit around waiting for Donald to save you. It's true you can have expectations. If you voted for Donald, you most definitely should have, things you expect, be realistic, and give time. I mean, he seems to move pretty fast with stuff that he wants to do. And so that's one of the things that's always puzzles me about politics. Even stuff Joe was doing before today on things he was signing, pardons. People were saying he's done more in January as he's about to lose power than he's done with his whole 4-year term. Just getting things passed, signing this in, signing that in. Same thing with the whole TikTok thing and getting that ban all set up. Things just moving like that. And so I guess certain politicians, they move as fast as they want to on certain issues. I think Donald is the type of president that, he sets an agenda and he just moves straight forward on it. You won't see any type of dragging, of the knuckles on that, knuckle dragging, saying, oh, what's going on with this policy that you're trying to push. I mean, if things do take longer, it's just because, they have to vote on it. Some may not agree. This is still, it's not a dictatorship. So, you still get both sides voting on things, trying to see what's best. If he does do the auditing of the United States government and we see where everything is going with the help of Elon Musk, that would be very interesting. That's one of my expectations for the Trump administration. I expect them to audit the United States government and see how we can get this $36 trillion debt down. Let's put a cap on this spending, and all of that can come back into the country, and then maybe we can help the homeless, put them on the agenda somewhere, and, go from there, those that want to be helped. And my other expectations, again, is lower inflation, so interest rates come back down, so prices are cheaper, for eggs, things like that. I don't eat eggs, but, I hear other people complaining, and so I would like to see everybody be able to come back into a more comfortable space in terms of spending, things like that. But on the flip side, people still need to be disciplined while you waiting on certain expectations to be filled by Donald. And, again, lower your lifestyle and, pay attention to everything that surrounds you. Keep your eye on the politics and everything else. Keep your eye on the news. Don't believe everything that they're reporting either. And just use your own best judgment. And, if Trump, whatever expectations you have, some of those expectations that you may have for Donald, you can fulfill those yourself, depending on what they are. Whether you call them a New Year's resolution or I just call it an expectation in general. I didn't make any New Year's resolutions. And we'll see what happens for Trump's final term. He can't be president ever again after this. So I expect him to go out with a bang. So by the time 2028 gets here, and it's time for the American citizens to vote again, I expect the United States, I think things will be a lot different at that particular point in time, just 3 years from now. And we'll be at the Olympics will be taking place as well in Los Angeles. All of that coming into play in just the next 3 years. Time waits for no one. Remember that. Doesn't wait for Donald, me, you, none of us. And it's, stuff is really is moving quick, fast. You're just seeing so much. And then I think this is also a year that we'll see a lot of things come to an end, because like I've said, this is, if you add up 2025, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 9 is completions. That's the end of the number line. 0, 1, 2, you end at 9. So this is the year of completion for a lot of things. You may have some things that you feel you have to end this year. I mean, you can use either word, complete, end. I won't say they're interchangeable, but when you complete something, it is the end. But then when you use the word end, you think that something may be gone forever. But everybody knows what needs to come to an end for them this year. At least I hope you all know. So you can have a positive moving forward in the year 2026 and beyond. Make sure you tie up loose ends before 2025 is over. January is almost over. 11 days left in January. Today is January 20th. 11 days left in this month already. So set your expectations. You can set them high, be realistic. Whatever you expect of Donald, as far as what Joe did or did not do, what you expect Donald to turn around or get rid of that Joe put into place. The main thing, whether it gets accomplished or not, is for you to make sure you're working within the best version of yourself and setting your own expectations. I've heard of vision boards. I've never done one, but I hear a lot of people talking about those, and especially a lot of ladies. They talk about vision board. They actually make them at home and put on the board what they want to see get done, just from an individual standpoint. Nothing wrong with that. And of course, they say your vote counts, so yes, we should have expectations for who we vote for. And if you got certain expectations for Donald, let's see what happens. I don't know what anybody's really expecting. If you got things specifically, put them down in the comments. What you think Donald is going to be able to accomplish, what you want Donald to accomplish, and what do you want to accomplish, politics aside. Because you are your own governing body. You are your own president. So always remember that. Because it's a cold world out here. Things get complicated. We already live in a sick society. That's what J. Krishnamurti always said. He said there's no measure of good health to be adjusted to a sick society. That's J. Krishnamurti. He went to the other side in the year 1986. But he has a lot of great quotes. He's from India. And so I'm in complete agreement with him on that. For you to feel like this is normal in the society that we're in, and you just are relaxed to it, you've adjusted to it, then something is probably wrong with your health. And I don't think J. Krishnamurti meant physical health. I think he meant mental health, for you to adjust to what's going on and just say, okay, hey, it's business as usual. Let's get ready for the Super Bowl. No. Then you become part of the problem, since it's all an ecosystem and everyone affects everyone. How you raise your children is affecting everyone. Because your kids is going to date someone else's kids, but maybe not, depending on if the parental ideologies clash in terms of how you feel sons and daughters should be raised. And again, going back to expectations, this is not just about expectations for Donald. Have those as well, but expectations for yourself, first and foremost, as an individual. And as far as what you expect from others, you can't control your expectations for others. We can't control our expectations for Donald Trump or any other politician. We just wait back and see what happens. We can't really hold a person to that. I mean, you can once their term is up and you vote them out, but at the same time, now if it gets to that point, 4 years goes by, that's more time that everyone has ran out of, and we really need to question more effectively, so you don't get someone in there just from on the political side of things, or even who you let into your life, and then that time has went by and you learning lessons that you probably didn't need to take all this time to learn had you did better questioning. Everyone is still learning, but we not asking the right questions from the jump, then we suffer a lot of time loss, wasted time, if you want to call it that, and learning lessons that should have already been learned. And so that this puts you behind. And for people who just don't get it, maybe they may be remedial, not so much in the school sense of it, but just life lessons. Because it's like Zoe Williams said, this is a classroom. Life is a classroom. The relationships we have are classrooms, and everybody doesn't learn at the same pace. And some people keep repeating the lesson, and then they get frustrated. So continue to set expectations for yourself. Again, what do you expect from President Trump, and what will change just on the surface level in terms of what's going to affect your pocketbook with the inflation and the interest rates, jobs. I think more job layoffs are coming, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's try and get more than one source of income, whether you get it through TikTok or YouTube. However, if you want to add, any additional stream of income helps. And remember, let's lower these lifestyles. Stop trying to add on with material things just because you got this extra YouTube money or TikTok money coming in. Let's be a little bit humble financially and just wait it out, because I don't know who people are trying to impress. So those are just some things to keep in mind, and so that way everybody can win. And those are my expectations. I would like everybody to win. Now, how big a person wins, that depends on where the person is at. Some people are going to have bigger victories just because they're in a better position. A homeless person winning is going to be different from a person that's well established in what we consider a win. So let's keep pushing for those, and hopefully the United States government with the new administration can help in some of those financial goals, in terms of people being able to save more and letting their money being able to go further, regardless of the whole talk about the dollar losing its value and all of that. That may be true. We may be heading towards more of a digital currency. But everybody just keep their eyes open. Get you some XRP. Or if you want to do Dogecoin, Ethereum, whatever the case may be. XRP is doing good for me, so, I'm sticking with that. You can do it through Coinbase, or, find another one. I think you got Webull, Robinhood, things like that. I know Aquarius Maximus, she's on YouTube. She has Guap Coin. You can check that out if you want to get your crypto through that. But yeah, let's all expect together, and let's see what happens. This is in day one. It's Trump's time. It's also your time and mine. What are you being inaugurated into today? It doesn't have to be the presidency, but hopefully you're taking more steps into a larger world. There's no time for complaining right now. Let me know what you guys expect down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. The channel is Facts or Feelings, all one word, no spaces. Put Facts or Feelings in the YouTube search, no spaces, and my channel comes right up. I'll be back with another video. And happy Martin Luther King Day as well. I'm out.